So here's the extract in figure 1 that we're going to use to help answer this question. The answers are all in the extract. It's our job to pull those out and relate those to the economic theory that we know, love and understand so well. So what you really need to do is think about how something that is in extract A relates to your knowledge of price elasticity of supply. So anytime that we're referring to elasticity of demand or supply, we really need to be linking back the factor from the extract to our theoretical knowledge and understanding. Note you might have also used the price data here somewhere in your answer. I haven't in this answer here, but you may have actually referred to the fact that between, June 15 and November 15, that the price of cocoa beans increased. So, and then you may have made some sort of reference to producers being able to meet that price increase in terms of one of the factors that affects price elasticity of supply. So if you've got any questions about that, just get in touch. But essentially, here's our answer. So let's go through the answer. I'm going to start off with a definition. Now that's one thing I think you could have all done better for each question. Just start off by defining the key term. You have been told this in the past, but perhaps that's something that you forgot over time. Why? Because 9 times out of 10 there's usually a knowledge mark available. Like I said, and like I've said in class, I can't guarantee that, but it's good practice. So price elasticity of supply measures the responsiveness of the quantity of cocoa beans supplied to a change in price. Now that would earn a knowledge mark. I'm then going to directly refer to a bit of textbook theory to demonstrate that I know what one of the factors is that affects PES. Time is one factor affecting price elasticity of supply. Right, that might get a knowledge mark too. Therefore, supply of cocoa beans is likely to be inelastic, and here I'm also going to demonstrate my understanding that I understand what inelastic PES is, so where the coefficient of PES is less than 1, due to the plant taking 5 years to reach maturity. Application. So you can see here what I've done. I've stated one of the factors that affects price elasticity of supply. I've said that it's going to be inelastic because with time being the issue, it takes 5 years in this case for the plant to reach maturity, i.e. 5 years for it to be at a state where the producer can actually supply it onto the market. I then mentioned the bean can only be grown in certain regions due to climatic conditions, e.g. near the equator. That will get another application mark because that comes from the data itself. So bear in mind, we can use a number of points in that extract to support the point that we're trying to make about price elasticity of supply being inelastic or elastic. So here I'm referring to another factor really that makes supply inelastic, but I'm not directly saying what that factor is. I'm trying to back up my point I'm making here by referring to the fact that that certain climatic conditions are necessary, hence that's also going to add to the inelasticity of supply. So again, it's trying to back up this inelastic bit. In both cases, producers cannot quickly expand supply in response to a change in the price of the beans, and that's my analytical point, just to demonstrate that I understand what it means to be when supply is inelastic. So producers can't quickly change the supply in response to a change in price or a change in demand. So it's finishing off the explanation, rounding our explanation off, that we're demonstrating this understanding of the factor and how that subsequently has the knock-on effect influencing the elasticity of supply. So take a look at that answer. Look how many sentences there are. 5 marks. That probably only took around about 5 minutes to write. It's also worth me saying that actually, if you look at the mark scheme, you could have gone down either route. You can see that this is the bit that I drew upon, but in this paragraph here, we've got good cocoa harvests, stocks being 27.3% higher than 2016, cocoa prices falling. So that's actually hinting at supply being price elastic because suppliers have been able to stockpile cocoa. It hasn't perished, they've been able to build this stock up, so therefore if demand increased, and you had a subsequent price increase as a result. Suppliers can respond to that change in demand, they can respond to that change in price with a more than proportionate increase in supply. So hence, supply could be viewed as being price elastic given the logic chain that I've just outlined there, but also given that paragraph. So again, this is the importance of looking at the data. As an examiner, they could give you extract A, and a question that could come from that could be assess whether or not the price elasticity of supply is elastic or inelastic. So if that was the question, which could be a 10-mark question, it could be an 8-mark question, we're going to repeat this process here, but we're going to add on the counterbalance of supply being, in this case, in the answer on screen, the counterbalance would be that supply could be elastic, and I would develop that subsequent chain of reasoning. So adding that on, you've then got a different answer, albeit to a different question. But that could be 8 marks, that could be for a 10 marker. So that just, what the point I'm trying to make here is it's really important to look at the data, to think about how you could be tested in terms of the economic concepts and the knowledge and understanding that you have. So a takeaway point might be, go and find yourself a past paper from the Google Drive folder, from the Edexcel website, even the legacy specifications, and have a go at looking at the data, thinking about what questions might be asked, and scroll down the page and see whether or not you were right in terms of the economics that was being tested alongside that. Hope you found that useful, folks, and I'll see you later on.